It's not every day that you get to work on a project and be able to make it look exactly how you want. That's true for sewing, but it's also true for home improvement projects. Sometimes there are just unexpected barriers that pop up and you're unable to make it look exactly how you want. This was not one of those times. I was able to design my son's nursery from start to finish, and amazingly, it ended up looking exactly how I envisioned in my head. I already showed you how I painted the mural, but now let me show you how the rest of the room turned out. My name is Melissa Case from Hat to Hem, and by request, I am going to show you our Disney Parks themed nursery. So the first thing you see when you enter his room is this lovely bag of clothes that I need to donate. He really is growing like a weed, and I want to make sure that we pass his clothes along to people who need it, assuming this bag ever actually gets into my trunk. I keep meaning to, but every time I go to pick it up, he ends up outgrowing another size and it just gets added to the bag. So hopefully that's not in here too much longer. And here's the mural I painted of a modified It's Small World facade. Some of you may have seen the video, but if you haven't, I'll make sure I link it in my description. Then against the mural, we have his crib. He is not currently sleeping in his crib. He is still in a bassinet in our room. He had some trouble breathing when he was born, so we're still keeping him pretty close just so we can keep an eye on him through the night, but hopefully he'll be in his crib soon. We have this adorable Dumbo blanket that my mom got him. I will post a link to that in my description as well. This won't be in here when he's sleeping in there, but for now it looks pretty cute, so I'm leaving it. And how great are these sheets? Between the Small World mural, the Dumbo blanket, and the Winnie the Pooh sheets, I feel like we've got Fantasyland pretty well covered over here. And in this corner we have his little baskets of toys that people have given him already. We also have this blanket of different Disney park landmarks, which he actually really likes being wrapped up in, so that's a good way to calm him down, which is why we keep it fairly close by. I just realized these little animals could kind of represent either Animal Kingdom or Jungle Cruise, so that's kind of fun. So here's a radiator cover that my father-in-law built for us, which has been wonderful. I love having an extra place to put things, which is how we end up with this little feeding station here. I love this little elephant basket that I got from my bridal shower. Then we have a bunch of bibs in here, some burp cloths. Usually his bottle ends up right there, which brings me to these curtains. How perfect are these? I end up finding these at a discount curtain place nearby, and I love how they match everything. It's fantastic. It was like it was meant to be. Then right up here we have a mobile that I made for him. I really wanted something that was inspired by the Enchanted Tiki Room, so I made these little origami birds and I hung them on a mobile, and I do like how they match the room. I was able to find a pad of paper which was made out of paper that was clearly not made for origami. It was a little too thick. It was cardstock, which wasn't fun, but that's okay because I still think it turned out great. And I am very happy with it, and he likes to look at it, so that's kind of nice. Next we have this Pixar print, which is adorable. And then on this side, we have an up print. They're by Jared Moriyama. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I probably didn't. I will link his social media accounts down below. I don't think these prints are for sale, but his work is amazing, and hopefully you have found a new artist that you enjoy. I actually bought these in Disneyland when we decided that we were going to start a family. This print is actually part of my little up corner. I was able to get these balloons and this little house light at IKEA. I was very lucky. I thought they were perfect for this plan. And my cousin actually was able to go to a different IKEA and find one of the balloons for me. So I'm pretty grateful for that, and I think this is a cute little corner. And then we go down to the chair. My in-laws actually were able to find this chair at a thrift store, And the colors actually worked pretty well for this room, so I was pretty happy about that. And then draped on the chair, we have this beautiful quilt that was made by my sister-in-law. She actually had no idea that we were doing the It's a Small World mural the way we did, so it ended up just matching perfectly by accident, which is kind of more fun than if it was on purpose, isn't it? Now we have this Winnie the Pooh and Piglet teddy bear. This is actually the first thing we bought when we decided to start trying to expand our family. Back then we were planning on doing a completely Winnie the Pooh nursery, but then we saw these prints and we're like, nope. We gotta do General Disney because these are too good to pass up. So more curtains. Then we have his changing pad and the dresser. It was important to me that we get a dresser that can kind of grow with him. I didn't want something that looked a little too kiddie-ish. I didn't want a changing table that we wouldn't really be able to use too much. So we ended up going with a changing pad and dresser combo. These actually came with silver knobs and I replaced them with the gold ones because I thought it looked a little bit more, I guess, mid-century modern. I really wanted it to feel like the vintage parks in here, so hopefully that worked. Then inside the dresser is one of my favorite things in his room, and it's a little changing station. I was able to get these little drawer dividers. So we have his diapers, his wipes, and then miscellaneous over here. And let me tell you, this thing is so efficient. It makes changing so much easier, and I absolutely love it. Between the dresser and the crib, we have this rug from Ruggable, and it's in what is probably one of the more high traffic areas between the crib and the dressing table. So hopefully it helps keep our rug in good shape right there. It's actually washable, so just any if anything unfortunate happens over here, we can just pick it up and throw it in the washer, which I think is going to be pretty helpful. And down here we have the diaper pail. I had people tell me, oh, you don't need a diaper pail, just use a trash can. Get a diaper pail. I know that's a little, I know that's kind of a privileged thing to say, but we had some gift cards after my baby shower, so I decided to splurge on the metal diaper pail, and this thing is amazing. It completely blocks out the smells, and at first I thought, oh, maybe we don't need it. Well, leaving this thing open once by accident kind of proved that we need it, so definitely a good purchase. Then we have his hamper, and then we have 2 boxes of hand-me-down clothes. My husband's brother and his wife have a son who's 7 months older than ours, and we get all the hand-me-downs, and it's awesome. And between them, my mom, my aunt, and my fans, I have not had to buy any baby clothes for any of this so far, and it has been amazing. I think I only bought 2 outfits, and they were when I found out I was pregnant, so everybody's keeping us well stocked, and I am just so grateful for that. Alright, so now going up the wall, we have some vintage Disney prints. I found these on Etsy, and I will leave the link below in case you're interested in them. We have one for the Magic Kingdom, one for the Carousel of Progress, which is my mom's favorite ride, and I gotta admit, I really love it too. Then of course we have It's a Small World, and then we have the monorail, which is honestly one of my favorite modes of transportation. I get car sick, so whenever I find a way of moving quickly that does not get me car sick, I'm pretty happy. And I've always enjoyed the monorail. I like to take it into the parks when I can. That's how we got into the parks when I was growing up. I know it sounds silly, but that was the moment where it really felt real, that we were really there, and I just really like the monorail. So then up here we have items that have nothing to do with Disney, but they're nostalgic. We have a little pram that my mother-in-law put her gifts for my baby shower in. And we have my husband's rabbit from when he was growing up, just kind of poking out. We have this bear, which unfortunately I had to censor, but it was a custom-made gift that we were sent. It has his name, his weight, and his birthday on it, but you know, I'm trying to preserve his privacy a little bit, so I decided to cover those up a bit. Then these 2 little elephants were actually on my cake for my baby shower. And this pillow behind here was embroidered for my husband by his great-grandmother. So I love that we have these in his room. Then on this side, we have the Disney shelf. We have some blocks inspired by It's a Small World. Then there's an owl I found at IKEA, but it reminded me of Archimedes from Sword in the Stone and the owl from Sleeping Beauty, so I decided to throw it up there. We have this cute little boat that says It's a Small World on the side, and that's a bath toy from when he's older. We have Wood, Buzz, and Jessie. Toy Story is actually the first movie I remember seeing in theaters. It's not the first one I saw in theaters, that was Lion King, but it's the first one I remember seeing, so it always has a special place in my heart, and I'm glad we were able to include that in his room. Then we have more It's a Small World blocks. The ABC is a very subtle reference to Peter Pan, when they have the little blocks that they were playing with and Nana's fixing them. And then we have a Baby Yoda that my friend made for him when she found out we were pregnant. Then moving down from the shelf, we have this absolutely beautiful print that my sister-in-law's sister made for us. She did this all by hand. It's adorable. I absolutely love it. It matches his room perfectly. And I hate that I had to cover it up for this video because it's really adorable, but it had his name on it, so I decided, better safe than sorry. I'll link her information down below in case you want to commission a work for her. I think this is a pretty popular print and the work is beautiful and I would highly recommend it. And then we have his bookcase. So we have Baby Groot, we have a little box full of socks and hand mitts. We've got his baby shampoo, and we have a roll of paper towels because you never know. Then we have a box of all things that apparently you need to take care of a baby, like nose drops and grape water, and you have baby Benadryl and baby Tylenol for later because those are the kind of things that you need at like 3 in the morning when all the stores are closed. So that's here and ready to be used whenever we need it. Then we have Doug. Doug is my husband's all-time favorite Disney character. This is actually something that he bought for himself back when we went to Disney for the first time in 2017, which is when we got engaged. So this is my husband's Doug that he was so kind to lend to the baby. So next we have this little box with some hats on top, but inside I have clothes from when he was a brand new baby. I have the outfit he came home in, I have the first outfit he slept in, his first little jacket, the outfit that says I was born at so-and-so hospital, the cute little keepsake clothes. That's all in there for me to look at one day and say, oh my goodness, you were so small. And then we have some miscellaneous books and toys from our loved ones. And that's it. I know this room is going to change with his needs as he grows, but for now I'm really happy with it. I think we did a good job designing it, and I'm just really happy with how it turned out. It turned out exactly how I was hoping it would. So thank you for indulging me as I showed you around the nursery, and I'll see you next time with actual sewing content. Bye!